Yo, 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 it's your main man, CD Rome, back live in effect, watching there the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is honestly my favorite episode. This is one of my favorite episodes. Right now, we're past the free agency. And we are trades are still going on. We're still trying to get Dame to a team. We better get him to Miami or he's not gonna play for you. I'm just gonna throw it out there. But right now, guys, we are gonna be talking about top 15 NBA players. The top 15 NBA players of all, I'm sorry, not all of time, but going into the new season. So we got our main heavy hitters that we usually have. If we can bring them out and get them ready to go, we're going to have Ace Boogie with the hoodie, of course, always. We're going to have Big Wavy 5 times. We're going to have first time getting back on the stage, back to the Watch Your Narrative podcast, my main man, Day, and then we're also going to have J-Nub. What's up, Ace Boogie? Welcome to the show, man. What's going on, brother?
Man, I feel like I'm out on parole. Maybe this is what it looked like. Okay, man. Hey, I'm ready to start talking about this list, man. Go.
Ready for it. Them guys was anxious. What's up, Big Wavy? What's up? Welcome to the party, man.
Had to turn the echo up, man. I don't want
to
overpower anybody. What's up, y'all? Yeah. The list is with this guy right here, Big Wavy, a.k.a. the Black Morgan Wallen. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I don't know who it is. Okay. What's up? Yo, what's up, Day? Lion Watkins, man. What's up in the building? What's up, bro?
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing well.
Yeah. And my main man, J-Neb. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, man. Loud and clear. I'm not even going to tell you guys what happened before you guys got to the show. We'll talk about it. It'll be hopefully a part of maybe some reels. I think there'll be some fun reels that we can make with that, producer Dave. But anyway, we're going to be talking about our top 15 going into the new season. I cannot wait to talk about that, guys. Going into the 2023-2024 regular season. But before we get into that, guys, I want to remind people of what our Watch Your Narrative top 15 list look like. So the panelists, we all come together. We all create our own individual top 15 lists. That top 15 list is then accumulated with points. And then from there, the list is formed. And it's going to be the Watch Your Narrative top 15 list. So I can't wait to see who was on there. I'll tell you what the list was, because I think the list is going to be a little bit different this year. At number 15, we had Klay Thompson. Some people call him the
greatest role player of all time, man. And I stand by what I said.
What?
He shouldn't have been on that list. But,
what?
Hey, I let it slide.
Again, we know that this individual that just said that is known is getting a reputation for terrible takes. So
hey, but quickly.
JP
is the Ryan Hollins of Watch Your Narrative.
No, I want you to think about this. I know, hey, we all laughing, but I want you to think about this. That list, I said he should not have been on that top 15 list. That was last season. Should he have been on that top 15 list? No, thank you.
No, it wasn't last season.
That was 21 to 22 season. Exactly what that was. He should not have been on that list. So he JP was right.
He was hurt.
So number 14 was Paul George, PG-13. Number 13 was Devin Booker. Number 12 was Kyrie Irving. Number 11 was 80. Number 10 was James Harden, the beard. Number 9 was Luka Doncic. Number 8, get this, people. Number 8, Nikola Jokic.
Pause right there. Said Jokic. I want to apologize. I don't watch you. I didn't watch you like that back then, bro. So
recall that this list was made.
But I'm the Ryan Hollins.
Greatest from everybody.
No. Whoa.
And he was an MVP at that time, by the way.
Hey,
collective grade from everybody. There's a reason why he was so low.
Yeah, that's true. Because he went on somebody.
That's true. But I'm gonna say this. That was like the one mistake I made.
He was the MVP
on my list.
He was
That's
the
cool.
MVP.
What?
That's cool. But there was a reason, if you go back and listen, why people had him at number 8.
Yeah,
Ryan
hey,
Hollins.
and that'll be a good
Phillips.
research, man. Y'all go back and listen to it. Go back and listen to it. Number 7, Dame Dollar. Number 6, Joel Embiid. Number 5, The Claw, Kawhi Leonard. Number 4,
Yikes.
LeBron James. Anybody? I wonder if he's
LeBron
going to be
James.
this year. Number 3, Steph Curry. Number 2, Easy Money Sniper.
Yeah!
And number 1, Giannis. So that was the list. That was the list a few years ago, guys. So before we get started on the list now, what do you guys think? Like, who stands out on this list that you think will not be on the list this year? And also give me who you think will actually be added to said list. I'm gonna start with Lion. Who will not be on the list, and then who's gonna be
Who
added
will
on?
not be on that list? Well, I will start with the low side. I will say it's pretty easy. Used to be my former favorite player, Paul George. I don't think he's on the top 15 list anymore, man.
And who you putting in? Who
Who
you think is getting in this year? A new face.
Who is getting in this year?
Yeah, new face.
Oh man. I will join and put my name into the terrible takes list on the panel. Pow, pow! He about to shoot everybody. Ja Morant.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
That's a horrible
Hey, I love you, bro. That's why we brothers, man. That's why we brothers, bro. That's why we brothers.
That Joker has a terrible mentality, but my goodness, that Joker can play some ball.
Hey, all right. So let's go to Neil. What you think? Who won't be on the list? Who's gonna be added?
I tell you who won't be on the list.
Well, I know who you're gonna say.
Kawhi.
Oh,
yes!
Kawhi. One more time.
Not playing.
Kawhi.
I'm kidding.
BNP, aka low management Leonard. He will not be on the top 15 list. Do you understand me? He will not be on the list.
Hey, James, aka my uncle said no.
My uncle said no, so I ain't playing. Kawhi Leonard will not be on this list.
Hey,
I guarantee you that, buddy.
So who you putting in? What new face you putting in there?
I'm putting in Donovan Mitchell. I think he's going to be in the top 15 list.
That's a
He
great
should
take.
have been in there.
That's a great take.
That's
a great take. That's a great take, James.
Put some respect on that man's name.
He should have been in there.
I fought on this one, bro. I fought on that one. that
6'1".
Don't make no sense. All right.
6'1".
Let's go to Boogie. Who you taking out?
Man, you know, I thought James was gonna say it, man, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the low-hanging fruit, man. James Harden is not gonna be on this list.
Don't. What?
He is out of there.
Get him out
of there.
Get him out of there.
He gone. So I thought that was a pretty easy take. But for James took mine, man. Donovan Mitchell definitely, man. You gotta put some respect in his name. But I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go with another little sleeper, man. I'm gonna say De'Aaron Fox.
Ooh, I fought on that one too. I fought on that one too.
Fox, man. I feel like he deserves to be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. All right, Waver, who you taking out?
Oh, excuse me. Let me go through my. Oh, for one, I do want to comment on this thumbnail that we got. Why is Kevin Huerter amongst these guys?
Kevin Huerter
he's part of the NBA.
Or Dylan. Is it Dylan or Kevin?
It's got to be the top 100 right
it's
there.
Kevin
Top
Huerter.
150.
Yeah,
Kevin
Hold on.
150 players.
But,
Can't forget Captain Short Arms.
Right.
Who I'm taking out
Mr. KD at that.
is going to be, I mean, this is a super low-hanging fruit, and it hurts my heart because we do the same thing on the court. We shoot and we defend, but I gotta let my light-skinned assassin Klay Thompson go. I mean, Austin. Listen, man, Austin Reeves had that man looking like, you know, the old head at the gym that really don't want to move, but he still want to, you know, shoot, and everybody be clamoring to guard him so they can save their energy for the offensive end. So gotta get rid of Austin Rivers. And who I'm adding
Who you adding?
to the list this year is Jamal Murray.
Ooh.
Whoa.
That's nice.
Wow.
That's nice.
I did ponder that.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't even think
on
about
this
it.
one.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Why though? Why? I mean, how did we forget? I mean,
he missed half a season.
It's not
last
often
year,
that
wasn't it? He didn't miss half this season, did he?
It's not
No.
often that you put
He was
number
recovering still. Like,
Yeah, he was
recovering.
he was recovering from injury. Yeah, I mean, now he showed out in the playoff. He's definitely top 15 talent.
Guess what?
I'm not disagreeing. Not disagreeing.
Guess what, bro? Guess what? We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about
probably
him
next
today.
season.
Yeah, and and then so I can't believe you guys. So for me, well, let me tell you who I'm taking off. I'm taking off Anthony Davis. I'm sorry. I mean, all love and respect, AD.
Yeah.
He's I think he's coming off. I think he's coming off. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I just think that's my personal opinion. Street clothes is coming off. Street clothes is coming off.
I couldn't do it.
And then I think who I would add is that man from OKC Thunder, Shea Gilgeous.
He got to get to the playoffs first.
That boy was
the playoffs.
That boy's been
balling. He cold. He balling. He calling.
Hey,
boy, he got to get to the playoffs first.
I'm with, and it's crazy said because I'm actually with JP. Next season, 2024-25, yes. If he continues to do what he did this season, but he got to make the playoffs, bro. Like, you got the team. There's no excuse.
I have a question, though. Real quick. Y'all saying he got to make the playoffs. Making the playoffs is a team effort. Not a one guy effort.
He's got the team. He's got Josh Giddey. He's got Chet Holmgren. He didn't. He had a team last year. They were in the play-in.
Luka doesn't
they were in the play-in.
But I need you to understand too, man. We're talking about top 15. We're talking about cream of the crop.
Yeah,
cream of the crop. Like 15 players. 15 players is less than the amount of players that go to the All-Star game.
Thank you.
So we're talking about cream of the crop. Well, he good though. He cold. He cold.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get into it, fellas. Number
15. Fantasy, man.
Number 15. Let's get to it. Let's see who we got. Drum roll. If I have one, yeah, I'll put it up there. And we're doing 15 through 11 today, gentlemen. 15 through 11. Okay. This episode.
Cool.
Number 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How did he get on there?
Perfection.
Davis.
Perfection.
Davis.
Oh, no.
First of all.
Davis.
Oh, no.
First of all.
Mr. Inconsistent.
56
games. He's not inconsistent. When he's engaged, he's not inconsistent.
56 games. 56.
But listen, say I gotta say this.
Hold on one second.
Go ahead.
He averaged, for the people who on audio, he averaged 25.9 points, 12.5 rebounds, 2.6 assists, shooting 56%. Ooh, man, shooting 25% from three, 75% from the free throw line.
He's a big man.
He's a big man. Of 27.8.
But let's talk about that effective field goal percentage, because that's actually a very, very, very big
and I'll
stat.
take that into consideration with my list too. So that's beautiful.
Can I just ask this one thing, CD-Rom?
Go ahead.
Everybody on this panel, can I just ask this very simple question?
Go for it.
Would you guys not define a great basketball player by a player who can put the ball in the basket?
Yes.
As well as a player who can stop another player from putting the ball in the basket.
And guess what he does?
I'm just saying some would be better than, others in certain areas. But overall, that's what the definition of a good basketball player is, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. It's okay. So I think we're going to have a very good discussion.
I gotta do this before we get into AD. Shout out to David, man, because I was sitting here. I didn't know this was going to be like this. And I was sitting here Googling stats all day. I actually have them on my notes. Great job, David. Can we give a round of applause for our producer, man? Great job, bro. Great job. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do it in sign language too.
All right. Now let's get into the conversation. We got to get into the conversation.
Let's get to it. Lion Watkins, kick us off, man. What you got? AD.
AD, man, I will tell you. For the record, he was on my list here.
Mm-hmm.
AD, man, what can I say? in a world in an NBA where we lack big men, good big men, I will hope that y'all can agree. There's probably only like 5 good ones in the NBA.
5. That's kind of reach, you know.
As a reach, maybe 3. How about that one? But this guy really, he's been consistent throughout his career, even with injury to injury to injury. He still manages to score really well. He manages to board reasonably well, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, consistent defensive player of the year conversation player.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe a couple seasons ago.
What?
Maybe a couple seasons ago.
He don't play enough games to be in consideration anymore.
That's fair. That's fair. But even still, even if he did that, well, if he did, then he would be. I would hope you agree. So absolutely. He maybe, I don't know about should absolutely be on the list, but I think he's definitely here.
Yeah, definitely. So what you think, Wavy?
Actually, this to me is bullseye. I mean, number 15. You're on the cusp, AD. You're on the cusp of falling out that top 15. This year, to me, is make or break. The reason I put Anthony Davis at number 15 is because of his performances versus the Warriors and the 5-game gentleman's sweep that they gave them. It was 5 or 6 games. Excuse me. Am I wrong? Can we look that up? But it was 5 or 6 games, and he was one of the main factors in why they beat them. He was too big for Draymond. He was too skilled for Kuminga. He didn't even play, but for Looney, he was too skilled for Looney. I just feel like this is the perfect spot for him. I mean, the number 15 guy in the league, and you're averaging 25, 26 points a game. You almost getting 13 boards a game. Now, I do believe you could become a better passer at the big spot, because I've been watching a Nikola Jokic. I've been watching a Joel Embiid, who I put you on their caliber when you're engaged. When you're playing games, when you're out there playing defense, when you feel like playing, because I do agree with JP, he is not Mr. Consistent, definitely not Mr. Consistent, Mr. Inconsistent. And I'll give more of a spill on him when we reveal our list and my reasons on why I put him on there. But I do feel like AD deserves this spot, but he's on the cusp. He is basically in Klay Thompson's position from the 21-22 season. So next year, when we film this episode and we talk about him, I may be doing a little whiny speech about AD, because he is one of my favorite players in basketball. I just feel like this is the perfect spot for him to be at.
Yeah, and to answer your question, yes, 6 games. It was a 6 game.
Gotcha.
So let's go to Boogie. What you think, Boogie?
Well, guys, he don't deserve to be there. And I think what's most disappointing about this list is I feel like that some people went with name recognition more than actually like looking at basketball and, knowing basketball stats. It's just my opinion. The reason why I say this is I didn't have AD on I compiled a list of, 18 players. AD was not even close to being on that list. I think it's pretty safe that this player is probably not on the list, but I did feel like that he should have some type of consideration. But guys, Domantas Sabonis, he's not even better than him. Domantas Sabonis was almost averaging a triple-double, shooting 67%, 37% from 3, is a better free throw shooter, 67% effective field goal percentage. What are we doing here? Anthony Davis has literally played 56 games. Domantas Sabonis played 79. So you tell me that he deserves to be on this list. Don't think so. I'm sorry, man. Anthony Davis, I will say, great defensive player, but he's too inconsistent. And like I said, I think I'm going to have a heart attack by the end of this list, because it seems like it's a lot of name recognition going on instead of actually like really digging and diving into who really is a better basketball player. That's my spiel.
If you have a heart attack, it's because you're unhealthy. Domantas Sabonis did not beat a team that he should have beaten in the first round, being the number 2 seed.
No.
And then
We're not talking about playoffs.
I'm talking about period.
Top,
He's better.
What
are you talking about?
Top 15 players. What are we doing?
When
Anthony Davis wasn't even an All NBA player last season.
DeMontis Sabonis.
He wasn't even All NBA. DeMontis Sabonis was an All NBA.
That was a terrible take.
So hold on.
DeMontis Sabonis, 19, 12, and 7.
Hey guys,
He's part of my
hey, say it. Watch. This is what you do to people when they do terrible takes and you don't want to entertain them.
So Dale, let me get your thoughts on that. Man. What's your thoughts? Anthony Davis.
For those who don't know.
Listen, I will touch on DeMontis Sabonis, right? So I had him as my honorable mention. He's on my honorable mention list. You know, he just made it outside of the, top 15. But I feel like AD still should be on this list, And the reason why is because everybody thought that the Lakers weren't making the playoffs when LeBron went down with that injury. But Anthony Davis stepped up. They stayed in the playoff hunt, and they made the playoffs, So, again, Anthony Davis, of course, he have his injuries, fair share injuries, but he's still outside of Joel Embiid and Jokic. He's like right there, third best big man in the league.
So you're telling me
I'm taking a healthy AD over DeMontis Sabonis.
Okay, so
any day of the week.
Can I say this though? Then
any day of the week.
If you have to qualify a player by saying a healthy person, they're letting you know that he's already an availability problem. You got somebody who played a whole season and gave you the same stats.
I guarantee, JP, when we move on in this list in the top 10, you're gonna see a lot of people qualifying when healthy.
And that's how I know his list is gonna be trash. Because he's that's how I know right there.
So hold on. So just to make this clear, forget the name. Right, let's just forget the names, period. You're telling me that you're going to take a player that averages 25, 12, and 2 and shoots at a lower percentage rate throughout completely shoots a lower percentage rate, whether it be 2-point and 3-point field goals, lower free throw percentage. You're telling me that you're going to take that player over a player that averages the same, almost comparably the same, does not give you as many points. He averages 19 compared to 25, but triples the amount of assists that player gives. You're telling me that you're going to take that player?
Yes.
Okay. So we're not. So then we're not talking basketball. We're just talking.
I will say this. So at this point in Anthony Davis' career, I agree with Boogie. I'm taking, if I had to choose, I'm taking Sabonis over Anthony Davis, and it's only because of the availability does play a part.
And CD-Rom, let's not let's not forget that the Kings were like number 3 in the West. I mean, they weren't just missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
And would have lost to the Lakers if they played them in the playoffs, but we're not okay.
Yeah. So let's move on, guys. Let's move on. I think that's a good start. Good start. Anthony Davis, number 15. Let's go to number 14. Let's see who made the number 14. Formerly Paul George.
The suspense is killing me.
Hey
man, let me tell you something, bro. Because I mean, if Anthony Davis is at 15, bro, I don't know. This list is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy, bro.
Yeah. We we had a little technical difficulty there.
We good, man.
With producer Dave, but number 14, we are ready to move to number 14. So,
oh my God, please pull up.
Dang, I can't even see who it is. Dang, I'm trying
to look. Oh,
number 14. Number 14, we have from the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown. Let me read out these stats, guys. So he played 67 games last year, averaged 26.6 points, 6.9 rebounds, 3.5 assists, while shooting a percentage of 49%, 33.5% from 3, free throw percentage 76.5%, effective field goal percentage of 55%, a PER of 19.1 with win shares of 5. So Jaylen Brown Boston Celtics. Boogie, talk to us.
You know, I'm actually I'm not mad at it. Jaylen Brown, I'm not going to give out my top 15, but Jaylen Brown was definitely in my honorable mentions. He legit. I mean, like I said, he's a number 2 scorer. My only issue with him is that he's the turnovers is a big issue for me. But other than that, man, I mean, I'm not mad at him being on the top 15 list. Not at all. I'm happy with it, man. I mean, I do respect that. I respect that. I don't think he's top 15, but you know, I'm fine. He's not too far from where I had him.
Gotcha. What you think, Lion?
This gentleman definitely made it to my list. I will say, I think it's impressive that, as we can see here, he made it to other people's list here too, being that he is a number 2 player on the team that he is on. Jaylen Brown, he like Boogie said, he does get turnovers from time to time. He looks pretty silly doing it. But all in all, if you look at things numbers wise, if he gets, and I have been on this soapbox for so long, if he gets as many shots as Jason Tatum gets, it's looking like he's putting up about the same type of numbers. Maybe not just as many, but it looks like he's putting about the same numbers as Tatum is putting up if he gets the same amount of shots. And when you see, if you watch Celtics basketball, when Jason Tatum is not doing what he's usually supposed to do, this is the guy that steps up and does what needs to be done. This is why those guys were able to put together they were number 1 last season, right? They were a number 1 season with 2 guys.
Number two.
Number 2 season. Excuse me. I was wrong. But behind Milwaukee, with 2 guys, because the rest of that team sucked. I ain't gonna lie to you. They kind of sorry.
No,
they kind of sorry now.
No, Al Horford. I'm sorry.
Al Horford running.
Sorry.
Al Horford.
Trash.
You know,
trash.
Al Horford.
55 years old.
He's
55 years old.
He old, but the man was shooting like 47%.
Somebody shoot a free throw. Al Horford. Man, I can't. No, but seriously, that team is not. The rest of that team, if you look at that team without those 2 guys, do you think number 2 in the East?
Without Jaylen Brown, I think they'll be a top 5 team in the East.
Disagree. No. But let me go to Neb.
I thoroughly disagree.
Yeah, Neb, give me your thoughts on that take, and then also what you think about Jaylen Brown.
On what take?
On the take that JP said if they would be a top 5 if Jaylen Brown wasn't on that team.
No, I mean, they're just gonna double team Jason Tatum and force the role players to beat him, and that team is gonna be a bottom team. It's gonna be one of those 7, 8, 6 seed at best, maybe. You need Jaylen Brown, and as far as like, this is right where I had him. You know, Jaylen Brown on my list, 14. So this is perfect. Jaylen Brown, he's a great scorer, man. Great defender. He was really pivotal in Boston getting that 2nd seed in the East, helping them make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I have no problem with him being 14 on this list.
Yeah. And what you think, Wavy?
I actually had him in the 13 to 14 range on my list. So he definitely is on there. We will talk about him on our final recap episode of all this. To pivot off of James's point, if we take Jaylen Brown off of this team, we have D-Book and the Suns before, with Jason Tatum, we have D-Book and the Suns before Chris Paul got there, and D-Book and the Suns before Kevin Durant got there. It's going to be the same type of deal. Yeah, you're going to get some dubs, but you're going to lose a lot of games too. This guy is one of the best defenders in the league. He's just to me, and I ain't going to lie, I think, in my personal opinion, I would take him over Marcus Smart defensively. I'm just gonna keep it a buck on the Celtics.
I would.
I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
Yeah.
I think that kind of was a here, man. Get his award. No, man. God, you keep talking about it. Yeah. Those type of awards. Like Russell Westbrook's MVP, but we'll talk about that in another episode.
Huh?
Yeah. Hot take. Might be trash, but it's my opinion.
Garbage.
Not to using my lingo, but seriously though, I don't like his field goal percentage. I don't like his 3-point shooting. But this is where he belongs on the list in this range right here. I actually had him a tad bit higher than this. And I had another player here, but I think this is where he belongs on the list. I just don't see how you can make him an honorable mention, bro. Because if Jason Tatum doesn't have him, Jason Tatum doesn't make the finals versus the Warriors.
I'm not discounting his talent. He's in my honorable mentions for a reason. I think okay.
I didn't say. I'm not saying that, JP. No, look. He's number 14 on the list, meaning just like AD, he is on the cliff. Looking like, hey, you don't have a good season this year, you might not make it next year. Legit. Yeah. So we, if they don't, and to me, a good season for them is making the finals. I mean, you're a 1 or 2 seed.
Yep.
Every other year.
Yeah, you gotta get to the finals.
That's my expectations for them. But they gotta pay him, and are they willing to pay him and continue this?
Yes,
if they get back to the finals, they will.
The Celtics. Especially. I don't know if you looked at the Celtics move. That the Celtics have been dumping contracts. So I think they're setting themselves.
Bring the Brinks
truck. They're setting up to pay those guys.
But this is to finish my take. I mean, we can probably move on. I think this is most will agree this is a perfect spot for him. On the list,
but hold on. Before we finish off, I just want to say we seen Jaylen Brown without Jason Tatum, right? And that was in the last game of the season. That was the last game of the season. Jason Tatum got hurt on the very first play of the game, right?
Yes.
And he followed. And what did Jaylen Brown do? He had like 7 or 8
absolutely nothing.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But that feeds into my what I said though. They can put that means that the other team can put all the attention that they want on this one guy because everybody else sorry.
Well, I mean, Giannis is doing it. Jokic is doing it.
It's a little bit different for Giannis. It's a little bit different for Giannis.
Those are expected to be top 5 players on this.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying when we're talking about top 15, we're talking about cream of the crop. Cream of the crop.
Better, and it gets better.
I would love to see a list.
Compared to Giannis,
so guys, let's move on. Let's move forward. Let's see. Number 13. Let's go to number 13. Jaylen Brown at 14, making the list this year.
I'm hot. I'm Steven hot.
It is Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Butler. Let me read these stats off to you guys.
I like that. I like that.
This year,
I like that.
Played 64 games, averaged 20. We're gonna round it up. 22.9. We're gonna say 23 points a game. 5 point. We're gonna say 6 rebounds a game and 5
we rounded up
assists. Now. Shooting 53.9. Might as well say 54% from the field. That's a great shooting percentage for a guard. Shooting 35% from the 3. They say you can't shoot 3s. Free throw percentage of 85%. Effective field goal percentage of 56%. PER 27.6 and win share 12.3. Guys, this guy is important. And I just want to say that the last time we did this list, I was the only person that had Jimmy Butler on the top 15.
You're right.
I was the only one.
You're right.
I was the only one. Crow. All right. Wavy, kick us off.
Please let me go first, because me and Said been boom, 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 beating this drum since the beginning of this past season. Because I had him in my, I believe if he was on the cusp of making my top 15, but I just could not do it. I don't know why. Again, this is the perfect range for him. And you know what? I just want to address a certain take that somebody takes off games in the regular season and doesn't exert themselves. 23 points per game, 6 boards, 5 assists. That don't look like that's taking off. 64 games played. That doesn't look like you're pacing yourself during the regular season, guys. I don't understand it. I don't get how you 85% from the free throw, 56% effective field goal percentage, which this certain individual that made that take about Jimmy Butler said is a super important stat. Well, he's shooting over half with that. This is the perfect spot for Jimmy Butler. This guy is always in contention in late May and early June to be either playing for a conference finals or playing for a championship. Honestly, I can make the argument, and I probably will, even though he's not that high on my list, that he could be a top 10 player in basketball, fellas. So I'll let somebody else have the floor, but I kind of feel vindicated because after that take we had either last episode or episode before, but this is nice. I'm glad. Like I said, I appreciate David because this stuff right here, you can't argue numbers. You can't argue them numbers.
Numbers. What's up, Boogie? Talk to us.
Okay, so indirectly, I'm sure he's throwing shots at me. Funny thing is, guess what? I actually got Jimmy higher than number 13 because I respect game, but I will say this though, in response to that, Jimmy did take multiple games off during the season, right? He's been known. In fact, the last 2 seasons, he has taken games off, right? And I'm not talking about like getting out there and not playing. I'm talking about he's literally taking games off. So I was not wrong in that statement. Now, to your point, and I agree with you 100%, Wade. When it matters most, he seems to elevate his game to a different level. And I mean, I can respect it. I mean, number 13, for my taste, I think it's actually a little bit low. Because after seeing and watching him throughout the playoffs, I mean, I'm not a Jimmy fan, but I have learned the boy can play ball. And he is actually very skilled. I did not know he was that skilled in the mid-post area as I've seen. And so with that being said, I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it, but I think it's a little low for my taste.
Yeah. And I say to be shooting, and I agree with I do have him a little higher on my list as well, but shooting percentage is for a shooting guard. Yep. That's a really good shooting percentage.
That's a huge stat.
Yeah. And so let's go to Nell. What you think, Nell?
I think he's pretty much, where he should be, number 13. I respect it a lot. I mean, somebody got to lead that Miami Heat team. They dang sure wouldn't know what's the shooting guard?
Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, you want to talk about a boot? You want to talk about a boot roster? That's a boot roster.
Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, Gabe Vincent. So, I'm fine with this list. We know what Jimmy does at this point. If you don't, you live on a rock. I mean,
yeah.
Jimmy buckets, play defense, heart of a champion, man. I got no problem with it.
And actually a solid 3-point shooter, man. 35%. That's not a bad. That's not a bad 3-point shooting percentage.
It ain't bad. It ain't great either.
So
I've seen worse. I've seen worse.
I seen them hit them when they count though.
I mean, it ain't 25% like we seen on the list.
It ain't 25%. It ain't 33% from Jaylen Brown. I don't think nobody's gonna say Jaylen Brown can't shoot threes, but he shoots.
Right? Yeah. No, but 35 is decent. It is.
So Lion Watch, what's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts?
Well, man, Jimmy, I'm interested, man. I everybody on my list done made it so far, but I say, man, Jimmy, and this to touch on something that Chris said, or was it JP? No, Chris said he I think he could sniff top 10.
Yeah, it was me.
Honestly.
Yeah,
that was JP. Excuse me, I apologize. Yeah, I really agree with that. I feel like the only reason he doesn't touch top 10 is because he doesn't score as much as we think that a top 10 player should score. 23 points is solid. Is solid. But we've seen Jimmy take a backseat to other players on his team, go crazy on offense. And that's cool. Shoot, that's a great team player. But one thing I will say about Jimmy is that a quality that he definitely has, that some players are very, very skilled. Some players are very good. Jimmy is one of those players that we classify as has that dog in him. That joker is tough. He's tough mentally. He steps on the floor. He's about to go crazy, and he does. That's dog mentality. So that off that, not alone, but off that, definitely he deserves to be here.
Definitely.
Maybe a little higher as well.
Gotcha. So let's go higher, guys. Great job, Jimmy Butler. I think this is like I said, I had him a little bit higher, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it a little bit later on. So let's go to number 12. Number 12. Who we got?
Oh no. Oh no.
Number 12.
Yes, sir.
Shea Gildress.
Okay,
Alexander.
this is definitely James's doing. No.
Yes, sir.
SGA. Let's talk about these stats, guys. He played 68 games, average 31.4 points per game. Rebounds, 4.31 assists.
What he did in the playoffs.
Wow, shooting 51% from the field, three-point percentage of 34.5. Look at this free throw percentage, 90.5 from the free throw line. An effective field goal percentage of 53.1, PER of 27.2, and win shares 11.4 SGA. I am going to kick this off with J Nell. Talk to us.
I have no problem with this guy being on my list. And I'll tell you what, I had him a little higher. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is a bucket. I'm telling you right now, OKC, they coming, man. They going to make the playoffs. They going to make the playoffs. They made it to the play-in. They're going to make it to the playoffs. And it's going to be because, in large part, to this man right here. You see it, man. 31 points,
All
5
NBA.
rebounds.
He was on the All NBA list this year.
All NBA list, man.
Yeah.
They sleep on him. And I tell you what, Sid, they sleep on him because he's in OKC. Now, if he was in Miami or he was in this big market, we'd be talking about, we'll be having a different conversation. But because he's in OKC, people sleep on him. I ain't sleeping on him no more. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
Number 12, I have no problem with it.
What you thinking, Boogie?
Okay, so can I just read off these stats for you?
Please.
Yeah, read them off.
Okay.
Please, can we get the same stats, please?
Okay. So if I gave you a player that's averaging 31 points a game, 4 assists a game, let's see, 1.5 steals a game, and averaging 35% from the 3-point. That's a top 15 player, right?
Yeah.
That's a top 15 player.
You got to be up there somewhere.
All right. So guess what?
I'll be up there somewhere.
Guess what? When we last did this list, you know who didn't make that list? Averaging those same stats? Bradley freaking Beal. And you know why?
Boom.
Do you know why? Because the
I can scratch
Joker
that point
was
off.
on a bad team and didn't make the playoffs. So we're going to reward Shea Gilgeous-Alexander because he's hooping on a team with nobody else? Come on now.
Top 15 players. Top 15 players.
Right? So hold on.
Players.
No. So
Players.
the Bradley Beal, we didn't give it to Bradley Beal last year, and you participated in the.
We know
2 years ago.
what's up with Bradley Beal.
You did not.
Bradley
What's up with him?
You participated
Bradley
in the same one. You participated in the same list. Bradley Beal didn't even sniff the list. But we're gonna give it to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Why? Because he's good in fantasy. Is that what we're doing? We're picking fantasy players now.
He has great drip too, JP. He's the best. Whoa, no,
Oh,
go back. Go back.
Anyway,
I'm done. I don't understand.
Say
Anybody can score big points on bad teams. Anybody.
Can I
if anybody can do
this?
it, why don't we have 20 or 30 people scoring 30 points a game? Anybody?
You do. You just have you got all types of people averaging high 20s on bad
No,
teams.
we're not saying 20.
30 plus.
31 and a
30
half.
plus.
Bradley Beal is a prime example.
I will say this.
Bradley Beal averages 23 a game.
I will average
Not
this.
31.
He's talking about Bradley Beal did average 30. And I will say this, Bradley Beal was on my list. He didn't make the list, but he was on my top 15 list a few years back. But I will say this. The most impressive thing about Shea, I had him a little bit lower than 12.
What?
No, and when I say higher, I mean, should I say higher? I'm sorry, higher towards 15. Put it that way. I had him a little bit higher, but what was and that was because of the non-winning factor. But 31.4. He's on a losing team. He's like you just said. Who's he playing with? He's playing with name somebody else. You don't know who's on that team. But which also means that you can double him. He's shooting 51% with probably double teams. He's shooting right at 35% from the 3-point line with double teams. So I look at that and I'm like, yeah, this guy. Come on, 31.4 in a
very
league,
impressive.
That is super impressive, and we can't overlook it. But I do agree with the Bradley Beal thing.
But CD-ROM, can I be honest with y'all? We all sit here and we watch NBA games. How many times, I mean, honestly, do we see teams dedicated to double teaming the primary scorer? Like seriously, we rarely see that happen, and that's because they realize that he's not going to shoot every time. The rest of the team around him is so bad. So, like let's not act like that. He's getting 31 points on pure double teams. So that's not what's happening.
It wasn't at the bottom of the West though.
It's my turn.
They did make the play in.
He's good. Turn. He's good, and I think he's coming. But he don't deserve to be above anybody on this list.
We'll see.
It's my turn.
Above Jimmy?
It's my turn. JP, alert. You are correct. He has no business being on this list. James, I'm not going to lie. I love you to death, homie. You're my brother. You know, you're my brother. I love you. But when I tell you, James, you have a love for these high point scoring, first option and only option on a team type players. You were the same way about James Harden, defending him for years. James Harden literally, he does this. He's doing the same thing. He's another James Harden. When you get on the court with Shai Alexander, and Shai Alexander looks to his left and to his right, who is he passing the ball to? He got to score 31.4 points a game, or they're not going to even be in contention for the playoffs. Like, come on, bro. I don't know about
another James Harden now. That's
James Harden.
I will say this now, and I'm not actually disagreeing with Wade. He's not playing. The only reason why he's not another James Harden is because he's not playing in that system.
No,
but these are very inflated numbers because he's got nobody else on his team.
Nobody to pass to. Giddey is, to me, Giddey is the secondary ball handler on the team, and if you watch, he actually facilitates the offense a lot. Shai is more. He facilitates, but he's more of that bucket, go getter, ISO ball type player. I can go get a bucket on this guy across from me. But really, Josh Giddey is he's the primary, decision maker as far as passing on offense. And we know this because he got a feature on 2K, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has yet to be featured in a season on 2K. So let's just throw that out there. We see what the people are thinking.
So does Zion to see what he's doing.
Let's get Lion in. Lion, talk to us. What you think?
Talking about Zion. Come on, bro.
Zion got a feature in here.
This is a family show. This is a family show, Lion.
Zion was on 2K. 2K is a family game for the kids. Anyway.
He won't be on that no more.
I agree.
Well, maybe the never. Yeah. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is definitely going to be a top 10 player in the years to come. Definitely. That boy good. He a big, I can't even say big guard. 6'4", I'd say.
Yeah.
Future multi-time All-Star. He's playing good as he can. Man, he's a young boy. He's averaging 31. Not many players average that. Not many players average 31 points at 24. I can think of who? Did LeBron average about 29 at 30 at 24 or 31? Regardless.
LeBron was also,
I ain't saying he's LeBron. I'm not saying he's LeBron.
LeBron was also 6'8", so that's impressive at his size.
Yes. Right. I'm not saying
also won Rookie of the Year, Lion, and is a overall better player than this guy. So please don't compare him to Bron and Bron's younger days. Please.
Yeah. 2018, 2019.
We didn't even know if Shai Gilgeous was going to be in the league.
Wait. Who won the Rookie of the Year 2018, 2019?
Definitely wasn't Shai Gilgeous because it would be in that step. That's them achievements.
Yeah, I think
he was an all rookie.
Obviously.
Was it Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons, maybe? Ben Simmons?
He didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Simmons.
So but he was all rookie, Shai Gilgeous.
To be fair though, Donovan Mitchell should have run that anyway. But regardless, that Joker fire. He's a hooper. He can ball.
Yeah. So I think we had a spoiler earlier, but hey, let's get to it, man. Number 11, audio didn't see it, but audio will hear it now. Number 11, Spider Donovan Mitchell, number 45 from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
6'1" at that. Goodness gracious.
6 foot. He's shorter.
Shai Gilgeous is 6'1".
No. We talking about
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan.
Oh,
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan
He's
Mitchell, yeah.
6. Oh man, I didn't know he was 6'1", but
He's
hold on.
6'1", man.
Let's talk about the game. Let's talk
6 foot.
about the stats. Games.
Oh, he taller than that.
68 games played.
I think he's 6'1".
Averaging 28.3 points, 4.3 rebounds,
Mhm.
4.4 assists,
Mhm.
field goal percentage of 48.4,
Mhm.
3-point percentage 38.6, free
Mhm.
throw percentage of 86.7, effective field goal percentage 57.2,
57.
22.9, win share of 8.9%. My man, Donovan Mitchell, who I also had on my list at that time that he didn't make the list. So welcome to the list. Number 11. Big Wavy. What's your thoughts here?
Real quick before Chris go, that was Luka Doncic Rookie of the Year that season. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Big Wavy away from keyboard. Actually,
All right. Well, line
not
one.
in here.
Talk to us.
Oh man, me, Donovan Mitchell. That joker is a bucket. And another one of the people that I would say, I think Donovan Mitchell got that dog in him. We've seen it from his playoff runs in earlier seasons when he sent Russell Westbrook and Paul George packing twice, 2 different years. That season they was on the Thunder. Man, that joker can play. He can play some regular season ball. He can play some playoff ball. Obviously, as he's moved on here to the Cavs, he's playing great basketball too, even with the other tiny guards that he has there. And that team, they won a lot more than I expected them to. They played well. So, hey, this guy, Donovan Mitchell definitely was on my list. Again, another player that made it from me. Yeah, I honestly, 11, I think 11's a good place, but I think he could possibly be a little higher too.
Mm-hmm. What you think, Boogie?
Yeah, no, I mean he's definitely on my top 15 list. I don't have him this high. And as we get more and more to the list, I'm getting concerned because there's some names that I feel like I should have seen that I'm not seeing that I think I may see. But no, Donovan Mitchell, man. Hey, as Lon said, I mean, my goodness, he's definitely got the dog in him. He's been a difference maker since he was on the Utah Jazz till he got to the Cavs, and we can't discount the fact that, man, he is a scoring guard, right? Which means that he's a volume shooter, and to have an effective field goal percentage of 57% is amazing to be a smallish guard. So yeah, man. I mean, I didn't realize that he was that good shooting from three, which is a surprise to me. But he was definitely on my top 15 list. Well deserved to be up on that list. I definitely believe that he is a top 15 player in the NBA for sure.
Young Wade. Yep. What you think, Neb?
Yeah, I think they
Really
went ahead and I think they clocked out for today.
Yeah, missing Wavy.
I was bringing too many facts.
I know, right? Got people running out.
Ran them off.
Got them scattering. So listen, me personally going on, let me talk about Donovan Mitchell. A guy that, he made me a believer in that 17-18 season when he actually was a rookie, went to the playoffs and handed it to OKC, who at that moment had the big three of Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony. In his rookie season, I mean, was killing them and actually knocked them out in the first round of the playoffs, which was crazy to me. After I saw him play, I said, oh yeah, this guy, he got it. I mean, he reminded me of Wade in the sense of the way he took over the game, going downhill. Even as a rookie, he had the NBA body. Although, shorter in stature, athletic, he is actually a slam dunk winner. Let's not forget that either. This guy got bounce on him. And as JP said, 38.6% from the three. That's great. That's really good shooting. So Donovan Mitchell going into this next season, I think that, they were number 4 seed in the East. They didn't perform well in the playoffs as they should have. which that did take a little bit of a knock off of my list because I probably would have had him higher than what I did have, but he was in my top 15. Can't wait to discuss that. But guys, listen, so far, tell me a little bit about what you think so far on the list, 15 through 11. We got it right? What y'all think?
I think we got it wrong. I'm not gonna lie to you. There were some players on there that I felt like should not be on there. 2 out of the 5 players that we discussed, I feel like had no business on the list. So I'm very concerned for the rest of the list. Very concerned.
Yeah, I agree with 2 out of 5. I agree with the 2 out of 5 that probably should be on there, but we probably don't got the same 2 out of 5 that shouldn't be on there. So,
No.
yeah. Yo, Neil, welcome back, man. Tell me what you think about Donovan Mitchell before we get out of here.
Man, I agree with him being on this list at 11. It's about right where I had him. I mean, he came to the Cavs, got traded to the Cavs, and instantly became the face of that franchise, man. And really stepped it up. One of 2 players that past season to score 70 plus in a game. Mm-hmm. Scored 71 on the Bulls.
Who was that other one that scored 70?
We'll talk about him later. I'm sure he'll.
Okay. As long as we talk about him later.
We'll talk about him later. But yeah. He helped Cleveland get to 4th in the East, man. He's a leader. I wish he was taller, but I mean,
would be nice.
But given what he has, man, I mean, 28 points with him being a small guard like that, I mean, helping his team win, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I agree. So watch your narrative, nation. So far, just to recap what we got. Number 15, formerly Klay Thompson, now Anthony Davis. Number 14, formerly Paul George, now Jaylen Brown. Number 13, formerly Devin Booker, but now Jimmy Buckets. Number 12, formerly Kyrie Irving, now SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And number 11, formerly Anthony Davis, but now Mr. Donovan Spider Mitchell. So we got some new faces that we've seen from Donovan Mitchell, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, some guys now, Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown. So 4 of those guys are new on our list. So let's see how the rest of this list pans out. Top 10, guys. Top 10. Stole another one from him. But anyway, top 10 guys are top 10. The list is going to be. So tune in to the very next episode of Watch Your Narrative.